my channel. It's Ray Sean here, and I'm on the journey of rediscovering my creativity and rebranding my life. Today I'm going to be talking about The Artist's Way. I'm going to be reviewing weeks 1 to 3, and we're just going to be summarizing how I found the experience so far. So let's get into it. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe below if you're feeling excited. The Artist's Way is a 12-week course by Julia Cameron. It's a self-development book, and its goal is to help unblock your creativity. You have to do 4 things in order to complete the course, and those things are morning pages, which is journaling for 3 pages, 7 days a week. You also have to read the material that's in the book, so you read a chapter every week. You also have to do an artist date where you take yourself out, or you can stay at home, but you have to do something fun and creative for yourself. And the last thing is doing the tasks that are at the end of every chapter. It's a lot of work, a lot of mind work, a lot of introspective work. You really are delving into your psyche and figuring out the kind of person you used to be versus the person that you are now, and in the ways that you maybe weren't so creative growing up, or the ways that you fell off your creativity, your hobbies or your habits. It just really helps you get back on track. It's a really, really good book. It's helped me in so many ways. The day before I started doing this book, I wanted to start posting on YouTube. I wanted to post on YouTube for a few years, but I never knew what I would say, if I was going to be too cringe, what my journey or my story or my arc could be. But since starting this book, I filmed myself a whole bunch of times. I have so many ideas. I've been posting a lot more on my socials, lots more content about me. Whereas before, when I used to have socials, I would just post or repost things I saw. Never really wanted to have my face in front of the camera. But now I'm the opposite of that, and it's fantastic. It's a really, really good book, and I recommend it for anybody out there who's looking to become more creative and reinvigorate the fun side of life. So we're going to get into the review right now. Week 1 is rediscovering a sense of safety. It covered lots of different topics, such as what the book's about, how you should go through it. You have to sign a contract with yourself and kind of promise yourself that you're going to go through the course. And it's a lot of foundational stuff. It talks about the author as well. It's really, really interesting. A nice way to delve into the book. And then you get started by going through the chapter, doing the tasks, and starting your morning pages. The morning pages were very difficult for me, I can't lie. I did not like being forced to write 3 pages 7 days a week. I really struggled at first. I was able to journal for a few days, and then I kind of just wrote nonsense. It's okay because I was getting into the book. I was just starting out for the first time. I typically do journal, but not as often as 3 pages every day or 7 days a week. It really just depends on how I feel. So I found that quite challenging. Week 1 talks about the idea of being a shadow artist, which I thought was very interesting. So a shadow artist is someone who wanted to be creative or express themselves to people, either through their job or vocation or just their own personal hobbies, but they shied away from it in some way. They either busied themselves doing something else, or they never let people in. They never wanted to get other people's opinions on things, and they ended up not fully living up to their potential. I never thought I was blocked off creatively, but when I worked in film and TV, I was working in a creative industry, but I wasn't being creative. My role was very technical, it was very administrative. I was in the post-production department. So I got to see lots of creativity and work with lots of amazingly talented people, myself included. I was very set on climbing the ranks in order to become an editor and then eventually be creative in my role. And I had fallen off of any hobbies that I had from when I was a teenager. And that made a lot of sense to me at the time, but in a lot of ways, I missed out on what could have been very fulfilling hobbies that I could have developed alongside of me focusing on my work goals. So currently, right now, when I'm trying to look for work, I am building up a lot of my creative hobbies and endeavors on the side, which has been so fulfilling and so exciting, and it's made me feel happier. I feel more purposeful. So it's like I kind of flipped what I was doing before. I guess I was creatively blocked, but I never really recognized that before. So this book has been extremely helpful. My week 1 artist date was Honestly, it was finishing a book I'd been reading at the time. I will have my artist dates in my YouTube shorts or my socials if you want to check out what I've done. Yeah, I finished the book that I was reading because I had been procrastinating for a while. Making that my artist date was actually really beneficial for me. Week 2 is recovering a sense of identity. Week 2 focuses a lot about the importance of maintaining your sanity, being self-assured, and allowing yourself to be creative without relying on external validation. So your family, your friends, any relationships you have, you just need to, I guess, push those to the side and allow yourself to be creative and to truly go for what you're interested in without people's perceptions on whether or not it's something you should be doing. People who are creative are quite sensitive. I know I'm quite sensitive, and the idea of someone telling you not to do something or this doesn't make sense for you or any of those sorts of things can really make you question yourself. It can make you doubt yourself, and that can eventually lead to you not creating anything at all. So that was really useful to read as well. Week 2 is all about ignoring critics, trying to be more creative and doing things for yourself, re-establishing your own creative identity. It's all about putting yourself first in order for you to get the things you want out of the journey of becoming more creative. My week 2 artist date, I didn't get around to doing it officially. I consider it watching movies. It was Mother's Day at the time, and I watched some movies with my mom, and I didn't really give myself enough time during the week to think of what I would do. So I consider week 2 as my movie day. Week 3 is about recovering a sense of power. This week in particular, it was all about any anger or shame or fear you might have felt in the past around being a creator. So I didn't really relate to it because I wasn't feeling angry at the time. I was feeling very excited when I was on week 3. I was excited, I was doing more things, I was like living it up. So I didn't resonate with what it said in that way. I'm very self-assured, so I have done like prior work before this book, being kinder to myself, forgiving myself for things, trying to be less skeptical or less negative. So I think I've done a lot of work on that kind of stuff on my own. So when it came to like being angry and stuff in week 3, I didn't personally feel that way. I'm still on the journey of like fully getting there with like fully trusting in myself, believing in myself, but I have come a long way from where I used to be. My week 3 artist date has been my favorite one so far, and I went to the cinema to see How to Make a Killing, starring Glenn Powell. It was an amazing movie. It was so much fun to just go during the week by myself. Hardly anyone was there. I got my snacks. It was a really, really good time, and it was really nice to kind of treat myself to that. So that was a great artist date. I didn't read the chapter at the start of the week. I read it throughout the week, and then I did the tasks at the end of the week. And because there's 10 tasks every week, you're essentially having to write lots and lots and lots of stuff. And my hand like really hurt. I honestly disassociated at one point, and I was like watching my hand just write stuff. My brain clocked out, and that's not good. So I recommend reading the chapter at the start of the week if you can, within the first 2 days, and then using the rest of the week to do the tasks. It does depend on how busy you are and what things you have going on, but that is the only way to avoid writing as much, because you're also doing 3 pages a day from the morning pages. It's a lot of work, so I'd recommend reading the chapter at the start of each week. To sum up my thoughts on weeks 1 to 3, it's been really, really good. I benefited pretty much instantly. I became more creative. This book really is life-changing, and it really can help you unblock your creativity if you're willing to do the tasks, do the dates, do the journaling, and really figure out what might be holding you back from starting something, what things happened in your past that contributed to you not being as creative. It really, honestly, is the best book ever. I can't lie. I love it so much. Definitely pick up a copy if you're trying to become more creative. We can all do so many different things in life. We don't have to just be one thing. This book can really inspire you to try something new, so I couldn't recommend it enough. Get yourself a copy. I hope this helped you in some way, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.